Hi everybody, this is Lisa, and I'm starting the reading class now. I just was finishing up the writing class where people were practicing writing in English, practicing their sentences, their verbs, vocabulary, punctuation, all that type of stuff. So if you are always looking for some way to practice writing, come and join my writing classes. I do a couple of those a week to give people a chance. Maybe they don't work for your time zone, but I try to do them at different times. Also, if you want to do some reading right now, we're going to be reading an article. I posted the link over there in the Verbling chat. And the Verbling is changing their system a little bit, trying to help people be able to get into the classes that they want, because a lot of people are not being able to get in to some of their classes. So if you want to get into the class now, you click on the green button. I think it says get one ticket now or something like that. I'm not sure because it's new and we're just finding out about it and using it. But if you would like to get a ticket, there's a couple of different ways. You can go to the Verbling website, and there's I think get tickets or something like that. I'll post the link here. There's different you can get tickets, helping other people learn about Verbling and being able to come to the class. It's really nice if we can get people who are serious about learning English, who want to come to the classes and practice and participate. So I've always had very good luck with all of my students. They seem to be very interested in participating. So I've had some good luck with that. So I hope you guys will just keep coming back and telling your friends about Verbling, because it's a great way to practice your English. Different kinds of ways: reading, writing, speaking, in the chat, more formal writing, practicing for tests, things like that. This is Verbling, for me, is really meeting a need that is out there for people to just use what they're learning. So many people have taken many English classes in their lives, maybe in school, maybe as adults. Maybe you've listened to podcasts, maybe you listen to the BBC News or CNN or something like that. And all of that is awesome and wonderful, but what you really want to do is use your language. So not just listen to it, but use it. So that's what's great about Verbling, is you get to use English either with a partner or in a class like this. So if you want to be in the class and you want to participate, come into the class. Alpha, if you're not going to read, then I'm going to kick you out, but you know that already, so I hope you are going to read. Yeah. So I don't know, Maria Jose, you're saying you can't watch the class. I think, I'm not sure, because, you know, they're using a lot of different technologies. We're using Verbling website, we're using Google Plus Hangouts, and we're using YouTube video, which is also Google. And so I have heard that there's something going on with the live streaming of the Verbling classes. So I'm talking to you guys right now, and I'm not really sure who is able to hear me. Obviously, the people in the Google Hangouts, I think, are good, and you can hear me. But in terms of the people watching the class, I don't know what's happening with that. So I'm sure they'll give us more information as the technology is changing. I think it's something to do with YouTube and how they're doing the playbacks of the videos or something like that. So keep trying. Okay, Alpha, hi there. How are you? Alpha Pilot has been around since the very beginning of Verbling, and he has never spoken. So we don't know. It's a mystery, but he's gone now. Okay, so Anna, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, wonderful. Anna, where are you from?
I'm from Russia, but I'm calling from Finland.
Oh, from Finland.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Finland? Do you live in Finland?
Yes, I live. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great. What part of Finland?
Helsinki, the
Okay.
center.
Yeah, that's the capital, right?
Yeah.
How big is that? What's the population of Helsinki?
Oh, it's not so big, really. It's compared to St. Petersburg. It's like the whole Russia. It's like the whole St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg,
Yeah.
and this account of people live in Helsinki.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. How long have you lived in Helsinki?
For about 1 year.
Oh, 1 year only?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not so long.
Do they speak a lot of English there? I heard that in Finland they speak good English there.
Absolutely, it's no problem to speak in English with all people.
Okay.
It's really awesome.
And do you speak Finnish too?
I'm learning Finnish, but I like English more.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I understand. Great. Okay, Ibrahim, you're back with us. Why don't you tell everybody where you're from, Ibrahim?
I'm from Jordan.
Okay, I couldn't barely hear you. Did anybody hear him?
Yeah, a little.
A little bit. Can you turn up your microphone or speak into your microphone more louder?
I'm from Jordan.
Okay, he's from Jordan. It's still a little bit low. Okay, Marcia, how are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Marcia, I would say. She's on the phone. Okay, Mario, how are you?
I'm doing great, Lisa. And what about you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay.
And Mario, how come your computer's always in black and white? How come the video is in black and white?
Yes, this is a style.
The style, okay. Where do you create that style?
No, with my camera, I just remove the color. Yes.
Okay. I don't know how do you do that? Do you have a Macintosh or a PC?
A PC. I think it's because of the software.
Oh, okay.
It allows you to make that thing.
To change that. Okay, I see. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, Mauricio, how are you?
Thank you. I didn't understand, Marcia.
Yeah, she's over there, but she's on the phone. Now she's off. Mauricio, where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Okay, from Colombia. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, Marcia, are you with us now?
Yes.
Tudo bem? Tudo bom? Okay, good.
Marcia, Mauricio.
I practice my Portuguese, yeah. Okay, good.
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. All right, did you have a good weekend?
Yes, a big weekend with sunshine. The more important guest, the sunshine came, so was a very nice weekend.
Yes, we had a lot of sun here too. I have and my face is a little bit red up here. I got burned because I put some sunscreen here, but still a little red.
A little?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much. Can you see? A little bit. Okay. Okay, Nihan, how are you?
Hi, Lisa. I'm fine, thanks. Did you notice the Google Hangout updates some things?
No,
our photos are the circle frames, and the sound vibrating is changed. I think they are updating something.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you know, the software people, they always like to fiddle around with everything. So they're always changing stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Every minute they're changing the color of the button, or they're changing the look of something, or making it bigger or making it smaller. I don't know why. It gives them something to do. Okay. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not better. So, well, I don't know.
The experiment.
Yeah, well, I think that's that's the type of personality of a programmer. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, what else could I do? Oh, I'm gonna make it blue. Oh, now I'm gonna make it red, and you know, they're creative that way. They get to be creative.
Yeah.
Okay, Nihan's joining us from Turkey. How was your weekend, Nihan?
It was not good because I just want to lay down on my sofa, but I can't. I couldn't because my friends came to me.
Yeah.
And they deliberately ruined my weekend.
What did they do? They made you go out or something?
Both. They made me shopping. They made me spend a lot of money to shopping.
Yeah.
It was awful.
You better lock your door next time.
Yeah.
Don't answer.
Sure.
You can put a sign on your door when we do that. We say you can put a sign that says "Gone fishing." And they don't bother you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I will use the idea.
Okay. Good. Okay, owner, how are you? You're back.
Yes, I am here.
Good.
I'm doing fine. I have to remember something to Nihan. We are on live on YouTube. Maybe
you're
your
on
friends
YouTube.
watching it.
Your friends might see you on YouTube. Yes. Owner, where are you from? Tell everybody what country you live in.
I am from Turkey too.
Okay. What part of Turkey?
I am living in Eskişehir, a city which is located between the Istanbul and Ankara.
Okay.
Yes,
and that is in Asia? Is that the Asia side?
Yeah.
Yes, Asia side, the middle of the Turkey.
Yeah, okay, I think I know where it is. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. All right, here is a big long name that I don't know how to say. Plak. Pielęgniarstwo.
My name is Ada.
Okay, that's easy. Ada. Ada, where are you from?
I come from Poland.
From Poland. Okay, that's what I thought. Good. Okay, Ada, that makes it easier. Welcome, Ada. Okay, and Vincenzo's joining us again. Hi, Vincenzo. I think you got muted because there was some background noise. So you can unmute yourself to say hi.
Vincenzo, please solve your microphone issues, please.
There's a lot of background noise with the microphone. I don't know what it is. Vincenzo, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Now my microphone is on. So I can speak to you. I am an old friend of you. You know.
Yes, you are.
I am following all your lessons.
Okay, great. All right, so everybody, welcome.
Well, I must say.
Yes.
About the weekend.
About the what?
Okay, but I'm going to move the microphone.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to put the article that we're going to read. It might be interesting to you, Marcia, especially because you're the closest probably to this area in the UK. Maybe you might want to go visit this very peaceful place. And so, yeah, that's the name of this article that I got from the BBC News, England. It's called Broadland, Welcome to the UK's Most Peaceful Place. All right, we're going to read about that. I was going to do one thing. Hold on. Oh, somebody wants to know, what does gone fishing mean? Okay, gone fishing means, well, it can mean literally that you went fishing, so you're not in. But it also is another way to just put it on a sign. So you could put it on your, at your desk, at your office, or on your door or something. And if you read a sign that says gone fishing, it means that you're not there. So you're not there. You're gone. Maybe you went fishing, or maybe you just left. But it says gone fishing. It means you went fishing. You went to go do something that you like more than being at home or more than being at work.
I'm not available.
Yeah, it means you're not available, not around. Yeah. Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to read first, and then I will choose somebody to read the same thing. And the reason why I do this is first you listen to me and how I pronounce the words, and then you get to practice reading out loud and pronouncing the words yourself. Sometimes I will also go over some of the vocabulary that I think might be new to some people. Sometimes you might know it, sometimes you might not. If there's something you want to know and you don't understand it, ask me and I will explain it to you in different words. Yeah, and we'll just get through this, and probably will take the whole time. So let's see. All right, the Norfolk district of Broadland has been named the most peaceful area of the UK by a study looking at violent crime statistics and socio-economic factors. BBC News takes a trip to find out what makes life there so tranquil. Okay, Anna?
Okay.
What's tranquil?
Can I start?
Yes, please.
The Norfolk district of Broadland has been named the most peaceful area of the UK by a study looking at violent crime statistics and socio-economic factors. BBC News takes a trip to find out what makes life there so tranquil.
So just a couple of words there. So they're looking at violent crime statistics. So statistics, information about how many crimes. And violent, of course, means crimes like, you know, if somebody got murdered or they got beat up or something that was violent, not just a simple shoplifting crime or robbery, but more using guns usually, or knives or some kind of weapons, things like that, somewhere where you could get hurt. And they're saying that they want to make life there so tranquil. Tranquil is another word for peaceful. Just very quiet, very simple, very nice. That's what tranquil means. Okay, boats bob gently on the water as the sun glints off the river Bure. Dog walkers stroll past on their way to pick up a paper from the newsagent. Ignore the constant traffic on the A1151 road and the occasional honk from a goose, and all in Wroxham is peaceful. Okay. Ibrahim?
Okay. Goose hop gently in the water as the sun glints off the river Bure. Dog walkers roll past of their way to pick up a paper from the newsagent. Ignore the constant traffic in the A1151 road and the occasional honk from a goose, and all in Wroxham is peaceful.
Peaceful, yeah. So here's the picture of what this looks like. It looks like a nice little area. So the boats bob gently. So when something bobs, that just means goes up and down. So you can imagine a boat goes on the water. It just goes up and down very gently. It's very smooth. It's not big waves or anything. So bobbing is when you're describing something on water. So for example, if you have a bucket full of water and you put apples in it, they say those are bobbing apples. They go up and down in the water. And the sun glints off. So that means it just reflects off the river. So when the sun is shining on the water, it glares, kind of how it shines. So you see that. That's what the glints means. And then you just get this idea of dogs are walking, they're strolling. Strolling means to walk, stroll. And you have to ignore the traffic on this highway here, this road. And there might be an occasional honk from a goose. So the goose geese, when they're flying by, they go honk, 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 honk. That's how the sound that a goose makes, wah, wah, like that. So that we call that honking, which is the same thing we call when you honk a horn in your car. You go beep, beep. That's a honk also. Okay? All right. The village lies in Broadland, named as the most peaceful place in the country by the UK Peace Index, which looked at factors including rates of murder and violent crime. The district, which has a population of about 125,000, had only 8 violent crimes reported in 2012. Its average overall crime rate for the past decade was 323 per 100,000, about a third of the national average. Okay, Marcia?
The village lies in Broadland, named as the most peaceful place in the country by the UK Peace Index, which looked at factors including rates of murder and violent crime. The district, which has a population of 125,000, had only 8 violent crimes reported in 2011. Its average overall crime rate for the past decade was 333 per 100,000, about a third of the national average.
Yep.
Average.
Right. Average. Yep. Okay. So the village lies. So when you say lies, that means that's where it is. There's lots of different words for lies. Another lie is when you tell a lie, when you're not telling the truth, you're telling a lie, but that's not this use right here, but it's the same word. So the village lies, or you could say the village is in Broadland. And the UK Peace Index, so that's the group that created this report and gathered information. And what they were looking at were the different factors, so different types of things that would tell you whether or not it's a peaceful place to live. And one of those things is, of course, one of those things is crime. So, of course, if you have a lot of crime, that's not peaceful. So, a place that has not a lot of crime. And murder is when you kill somebody. And then I said about the violent crime is when you might get hurt or there's weapons involved or something. So the district, so it's not just a small village, it's the district. So I'm not sure in England how it works. In the United States, we call them counties. So we have different towns or cities, and then bigger regional area, which is known as a county. And then after that is the state that we have. So it has only 125,000 people. Let's see, the overall, so overall rate, that means all, including all different types of crimes. And decade, that word decade is 10 years, so a decade. And it's less, a lot less than the national average, a third. So that means if you multiply that by 3, that's what the national average for the UK is. All right, a largely rural area to the north and east of Norwich, Broadland includes picturesque villages, handsome market towns, and some of the city's suburbs. Why I'm here. It also takes in large parts of the Broads, the network of inland waterways that are one of the country's most popular holiday destinations. Okay, Mario?
Yeah. A largely rural area to the north and east of Norwich, Broadland includes picturesque villages, handsome market towns, and some of the city's suburbs. Why I'm here? it also takes in large parts of the Broads the network of inland waterway that are one of the country's most popular holiday destinations.
Mm-hmm. So largely rural area. That means it's mostly a rural area. So we describe rural areas as those areas that are outside of cities. So they are usually not very populated, not a lot of people. Usually a rural area has farms, and we call it the countryside. Maybe there's horses or cows and different animals. That's what rural means versus city. So this is where it's located. There's actually a map at the very bottom of the document where we can see a little bit where it is. It includes picturesque villages. Anna, I'm just muting you because there's a lot of noise from the microphone, so that's the only reason why. Okay, the picturesque means it's very like a picture, like a painting. If you can see this boat here, it's like very nice, picturesque, green trees, cloudy skies, blue skies. That's what picturesque means. So it means very pretty, pretty scenery. And they have market towns, lots of markets, probably flowers markets and things like that. And it's farther out from the city. So we call the suburbs. Near cities, but not in the middle of cities, where people live. Mostly houses, not a lot of shops or businesses or anything like that. Okay, it's a popular destination in England. A destination is a spot where you go for something like a holiday or a vacation. So, for example, in France, Mario, what would be a destination for people in France to go to? Like a famous spot where people in France like to go vacation.
Something else than Paris, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I don't know, do people go to the Alps or to Nice, the Mediterranean, or to Bretagne?
Yes, you have the French Riviera. It's quite interesting, but there's a lot of people in the summer.
Yeah.
But if you like nature, landscape, things like this, you have many regions that very interesting, like Auvergne. Auvergne regions and Alsace also. This is very, very beautiful. I'm a biker, you know.
Oh, cool.
Yes, so I used to ride off.
Nice.
All over that. Yes, it's very cool. I don't like to go to the Riviera because there's many people and the landscape is almost occur with buildings, things like this. Yes, but it's very interesting to visit inside the country, not on the side. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Riviera is pretty. It's a popular destination, but pretty crowded. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. So Yvonne Evans, 50, is from Grimsby, but spends a lot of time in the area on her boat. I'm not surprised. It's peaceful. That's why I'm here, she says. It's laid back. Everyone speaks to you. Everyone's happy. I would like to move here permanently. Okay, Maria Jose, you're in. Do you want to read?
Yes.
Okay, Mauricio. Okay, Mauricio. Hold on.
Yvonne Evans, 50, is from Grimsby, but spends a lot of time in the area on her boat. I'm not surprised. It's peaceful. That's why I'm here, she says. It's like back. Everyone speaks to you. Everyone's happy. I would like to move here permanently.
Permanently. Okay, good. So this is part of the section that they titled Why I'm Here. So this lady, she's from another town called Grimsby, but she spends a lot of time on her boat. She says, I'm not surprised. So when you use that phrase, this means like, yeah, it's obvious that it's something that it's peaceful. So if somebody's telling you something like, oh, it's a peaceful place here, and you can say, yeah, I'm not surprised. It's obvious. There's lots of reasons why, and that's why she's here. She said she describes it as very laid back. When things are laid back, if a person is laid back, It's talking about like just means very mellow, uptight. They're not anxious. They're not nervous. They're just very relaxed. And that's what it's like in a lot of places that are nice to live in. People are usually laid back versus, you know, a lot of times if you live in a big city where there's lots of crime, people are very busy, it's not laid back. It's usually, we would say, that would be the opposite of laid back. Okay, she wants to move there permanently. So when you do something permanently, that means like for permanent is for a long time. Not it's the opposite of temporary. So temporary is for a short time, and that's what she's doing right now. She's just vacationing there, spending time on her boat. But she wants to move there. If you want the opposite side, go to Grimsby. So she's describing that as not a peaceful place. Retired fruit grower John Place 83 agrees. It's very peaceful. That is the attraction, he says. It's a holiday area, but one that the lager drinking people don't find so exciting. They would rather go to the south of France or Spain, he says. Okay, Maria Jose, do you want to read that part?
Yep.
Okay.
If you want the opposite side, go to Grimsby. Retired fruit grower John Place 83 agrees. It's very peaceful. That is the attraction, he says. It is a holiday area, but one that can you up the test, please? It is a holiday area, but one that the
lager drinking. Yeah.
Lager drinking people don't find so exciting. They will rather go to the south of France or Spain, he says.
Yeah. So the opposite of peaceful would be in Grimsby, he says. So retired, you know, that means not anymore. A retired fruit grower, somebody who used to grow fruits. He agrees. He says that is the attraction. Attraction is the something that attracts people. So people are attracted to this area because it is that's the attraction. Of course, something like a big city like Paris or Rio or Cairo or any of big cities around the world, Istanbul, what the attraction is to those places is different. It's not that it's peaceful, but that it's lively, that there's lots going on, in the city. You can go see live shows, you can go to museums, you can go to cafes and restaurants all through the night. So different places have different attractions, and it really depends on what you're looking for. Like Mario was saying, if you like nature, you might choose different locations because you are attracted to mountains or rivers or hiking or something like that. He says that the reason why it's a pretty peaceful place is that the lager drinking people. So that means we would not say in English, we would say the beer or the alcohol, people looking to drink a lot of alcohol or something, they're not finding this place so exciting. So that's kind of how the place is where I live. I live in Port Townsend, Washington, and there are a lot of retired people here, and it's very laid back and peaceful. And some people think it's pretty boring. So yes, if you're like really into partying or something like that, you wouldn't want to come to Port Townsend. But that's what he's saying here. People like that, if you're looking for parties and drinking and pubs and things, probably go to other parts of Europe. Okay. If we had attracted all the lager louts, we would have brawls at night. People are coming to the area for a quiet holiday. The local people are watching out for each other. There are problems. People can lose outboard motors occasionally. There is some local theft, but I think the police are much quicker on the uptake now. Okay. Who's next? Nihan.
Sure. If we had attracted all lager loots, we would have brawls at night. People are coming to the area for a quiet holiday. The local people are watching out for each other. There are problems. People can lose outboard motors occasionally. There is some local theft, but I think the police are much quicker on the uptake now.
Yeah. So these are the people. I wrote it in the chat. We wouldn't say this in English. This is from the BBC, so it's British English. But those words, the lagers are the beers, the drinks, and the loots or the louts are the people who are aggressive, the people like guys, you know, who get drunk and they start fights or something like that. And a brawl is a fight. So if this town had those kind of people, of course there would be more fights and things like that. But they're not too interested in this small, peaceful area. Because the people who are coming, they want a quiet holiday. So they're looking for something mellow, something peaceful. They're not looking for the big parties. They watch out for each other. So when you are neighbors, for example, and you watch out for each other, that means you take care of each other. You're making sure nobody's getting into your house or somebody's messing up your yard. So you take care of each other. He says they can sometimes lose their outboard motors. An outboard motor is the motor that goes on the back of a boat, and you can see it. So maybe sometimes they get robbed or stolen or something like that. Occasionally means sometimes. But he says the police are quicker on the uptake. So on the uptake means that they're quicker to know what's going on. So if maybe a couple of boats start getting their motors stolen, the police are quicker now to start understanding what's going on and figuring out the problem. So you could say, there's an English expression that you could say, this means he's not.
Lisa, sorry. When you're typing, you're unmuted, you know?
Sorry, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so he is slow on the uptake means you're not very quick. If you describe somebody like that, it's kind of a put down or a little bit of an insult. But if you're talking about somebody like, he's a little bit slow on the uptake, it means he doesn't really quite get it. He's not a very quick person. You could also say something like, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, something like that. That's to describe a person who's not so quick or smart. All right, okay, keep going here. Sorry about that. I forgot that they muted me now when I type, which is annoying. All right.
Yeah.
Bowls and bingo. Sonia Dickinson is clerk to Lingwood and Burlingham Parish Council, 2 Broadland villages east of Norwich. I love Lingwood, she says. It's a nice place because people say hello in the street and it's friendly. She lists the village's pub, Tiny Tots and Mucky Ducks groups for children as among its attractions, along with bowls, bingo, and table tennis. Okay, bowls and bingo. All right. Owner.
Yes, that's not fair. There's too much special names. Okay, I will try.
Go for it.
Balls and bingo. Sonia Dickinson is clerk to Lingwood and Burlingham Parish Council, 2 Broadland villages east of Norwich. I love Lingwood, she says. It's a nice place because people say hello in the streets and it's friendly.
Yep.
She leads the village pub, Tiny Tots and Mucky Ducks groups for children, as among its attractions, along with bowls, bingo and table tennis.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
That's the end, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I think you guys probably understand most of this. Pretty simple. The pubs, use the word pubs, but it's a little bit different. Usually in bars here, it's not so much food. There's some food. It depends. We also use the word pubs, but it's just not as common. So yeah, they have some attractions, but they're not super exciting. Bowls, which is, I imagine it's like bowling here, throwing the balls. Bingo, which is a game, and table tennis, which is like that ping pong here. Yeah, so it's kind of simple things, not a lot of nightlife, as you would say, like not a lot of discos, places to go dancing, a lot of bars or pubs, things like that. So it's a very peaceful, mellow atmosphere. There's hardly anything ever on the police reports. It's brilliant. I feel safe, she says. Johnny Payne, a butcher in the Broadland market town of Aylsham, I don't know how to say that, Aylsham, says, or maybe it's Aylsham, says, it's a lovely little town, lots of friendly people, friendly faces. I think it's the friendliness of everybody that makes it so peaceful because you don't get a lot of people falling out with each other. Okay. Vincenzo. Unmute your mic, Vincenzo. Vincenzo, I can't hear you, so your microphone must be muted.
Ecco.
There you are. Yep, you're good.
Because my connection is very slow.
Oh, okay. It sounds good now.
It's very slow, you know. Okay. Okay. Allora, where is the beginning?
There is hardly anything ever.
And bingo. There is, she is there. With, oh dear. Allora. There is hardly anything ever on the police reports. It's brilliant. I feel safe, she says. Johnny Payne, a butcher in the Broadland market town of Aylsham, says it's a lovely little town. Lots of friendly people, friendly faces. I think it's the friendliness of everybody that makes it so peaceful, because you don't get a lot of people falling out with each other.
Right. Okay, good. Yeah, so she says it's a brilliant. Brilliant can also be used to describe a person. If you say a person is brilliant, you mean they're very intelligent, they're smart, they're amazing.
Clever.
Yeah, clever. But a person, when you just say it's brilliant, you just say, that just means like it's great, it's nice, it's wonderful. So she feels safe there. A butcher is a person who gets the meat and the chicken and the pork and things like that for you, cuts up the animals. Lots of friendly people, friendly towns. The only thing here I think maybe you guys don't not have heard of as much is falling out with each other. If you have a falling out with somebody, that means you had a disagreement and maybe you're no longer talking, and so that doesn't happen. There's not a lot of fighting. So sometimes neighbors, for example, they have a falling out with each other. That means they disagreed about something, and so they argued, and then they couldn't find an agreement, and so now they just don't talk to each other. But what she's saying is that, or he, who was it? The butcher says it's just friendly, everybody's peaceful, and they get along. So if you get along and you don't have falling outs, then it can be a nice place. He says you don't like to upset people because it's such a close-knit place. All right, so then this next little section is called University Research. Simon Woodbridge, a conservative member and former leader of Broadland District Council, said a lot of hard work had gone into making Broadland safe and peaceful. Okay, Anna? Make sure, yeah, there you go.
Okay. You don't like to upset people because it's such a close-knit place. University Research. Simon Woodbridge, a conservative member and former leader of Broadland District Council, said a lot of hard work had done into making Broadland safe and peaceful.
Yes. So a close-knit place, that means that people are very tight. It's people know each other, they know each other's kids, their families. something like that. So if you have a close-knit family or a close-knit community or a place, that's what it means. It means they're very close, they know each other very well, and people don't like to upset each other. They don't like to get into arguments or fight or something like that because they know each other. They like each other. Okay, let's see. A lot of hard work has gone into making it safe. So it wasn't just, you know, they actually did some things to help ensure that it was safe. He said the council started to take a deeper look at crime and antisocial behavior following a national report in 2003 and commissioned the University of East Anglia to conduct research. They said if you really want to make sure you have got the most peaceful, crime-free area you can possibly achieve, head into your primary schools and high schools and look towards delivering early intervention services to children who are suffering from bereavement, bullying, domestic violence, and family breakdown. Okay. Goliath, you want to read all that? It's not very loud. Can you turn it up? There you go.
You hear me? Okay.
Yes, yes. Good.
So I can read from the screen or from the document?
Wherever it's easiest for you, just read the part that I...
Yes.
Yeah, he said...
Yep. He said the council started... Okay, I don't see. He said the council started to take a deeper look at the crime and antisocial behavior following a national report in 2003 and commissioned the University of East Anglia to conduct research. They said if you really want to make sure you have got the most peaceful, crime-free area you can possibly achieve, head into your primary schools and high schools and look towards delivering early intervention services to children who are suffering from bereavement, bullying, and domestic violence and family breakdown.
Okay, good.
Bereavement.
Yeah. All right. So bereavement is when you are sad because somebody died in your family. So yeah, bereavement is the word that means that you are in a time of grief because somebody died in your family. So you are bereaving them. So if you're in the state of bereavement, it means somebody died. So you're usually pretty sad. It can be very traumatic, especially if your mom or your dad dies or something like that. That's what they're talking about. So they want to make sure that these children are getting the support that they need if they are suffering. If they are suffering because somebody died, if they're being bullied, bullied means when like another person in your class or your school is coming to you and beating you up and calling you names and making you feel really bad. That's bullying, and that's a problem sometimes. It can be very traumatic for people who are being bullied. Or domestic violence. So domestic means in the home. So if there are children who are seeing domestic violence, either they're seeing their parents fighting, being physical with each other, or maybe they're getting hit by their parents or something, or the family breakdown. So if the family members are, like if there's a divorce, or maybe one of the parents leaves, or something like that. All of that can be very traumatic for children and can lead some children to go into being violent or doing things. Well, also committing crimes. So a lot of times if children aren't getting taken care of in a certain way that they feel safe, then they tend to have what we call antisocial behavior. So instead of being happy and friendly and polite and nice, they tend to be angry or sad or depressed, and that might lead them to do other things, like things that we don't like, things that aren't good for them. So that's what they told them to do. They commissioned them. Whenever you commission somebody to do something, that means you hire them. So
to assign.
What they did is they conducted research. So to conduct is to do. carried it out. They did some research, and that's what they found. If you want to live in a nice place, then you have to get to the children early. It's called early intervention. Because a lot of times if they're already older, teenagers, 15, 16, 18, 25, whatever, it's harder to help them become peaceful again.
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. Okay. So it follows that if you give the pastoral care to youngsters when they are feeling emotionally distressed, that prevents them getting angry further down the line in their teenage years and will give you a significant reduction in crime and antisocial behavior. Okay, Marcia?
It follows that if you give the pastoral care to youngsters when they are feeling emotionally distressed, that prevents them getting angry further down the line in their teenage years, and will give you a significant reduction in crime and antisocial behavior.
Pastoral care. That means pastoral is usually when they're talking about the pastures, like out in the countryside where the cows are. That's the pasture where they're eating grass. But what they're talking about now is the type of we would probably say, or the type of care that parents usually give. If the parents aren't giving that because either they died or they're not in a good space themselves, then you have to take care of the youngsters, the children, what that means, the youngsters. This will prevent them. That means that will help them from not getting angry further down the line. So that means in the future. Older, for example, when they're teenagers. And this will help reduce. That will make your crime rates lower and your antisocial behavior lower. He said social services, charities, and the police had used this approach in the district to good effect. Keith Simpson, Conservative MP for Broadland, said if the statistics in the UK Peace Index report were correct, it was good news for everybody living in the area. Okay. Maria Jose?
Okay. He said social services, charities, and the police had used this approach in the district to good effect. Kate Simpson, Conservative MP for Broadland, said if the statistics in the UK Peace Index report were correct, it was good news for everybody living in the area.
Yeah. So to good effect just means it worked. So it had a good outcome. So these people, it worked is all that means. If we really are starred that high, this is going to encourage people to want to come and live in Broadland and to invest in Broadland, he said. You'll notice the slight caveat in what I said because those are statistics, and I suspect there will be many people within Broadland who will say, wait a minute, I have seen crime, I have been burglared, and there has been antisocial behavior. Okay. So, Mario.
Yeah. If we really are stirred that high, this is going to encourage people to want to come and live in Broadland and to invest in Broadland, he said. You'll notice the slight caveat in what I said because those are statistics, and I suspect there will be many people within Broadland who will say, wait a minute, I've seen crime, I've been burgled, and there has been antisocial behavior.
Yeah. So right here he says there's a caveat. Whenever you have a caveat, that just means like a little thing that says yes, but. It's like when you say yes, but, and the caveat. He says, of course, there's going to be people who will say, yeah, but I've burglar. We wouldn't say burglared. We would say burglarized. Somebody stole something from you. So yeah, of course, there will be always people who say, you know, they're not perfect. But if it's true, then people will probably start moving there. He says, but I nevertheless think that it is overall good news. It says a lot for the work being done by police and people in social services, and I suspect as well the community spirit in many of the villages and small towns that make up a large part of my constituency. Okay, Mauricio.
Yep, but I never totally think that this is overall good news. It says a lot for the work being done by police and people in social services, and I suspect as well the community spirit in many of the villages and small towns that make up a large part of constituency.
Yes, constituency. Okay, so he says overall it's good news. Everybody's been doing a good job, and the only word here maybe is new for some. So if you are a politician, so this person talking up here, he was one of the members of conservative member of parliament, I think, for Broadland area. And so his constituencies are the people who live in the towns that he represents in the government. So that's when politicians talk about their constituents. That's the people who live in the towns that they represent. So the people who might or might not vote for them. So I included a few more things here. I don't think we have time to read through it, but another little picture there. The average cost is pretty expensive. I don't know. Yeah. So obviously, a lot of times, wealthier places have less crime, typically. And it's also a smaller area with a lot less people. So those are also important factors in having a small, less. Of course, when you have people who are okay financially and they're living a good life themselves, they don't have too many reasons to be violent. So those are some things. And then here's where we're talking about this area. So this is on the northeast part of England, or the southeast, I mean. So if you know, London's down here, and so I don't know how far that is, probably just a couple of hours. But I don't know how far it is from you, Marcia, over in Wales, but it's not too far, probably.
A lot of hours.
Yeah, well, driving, like maybe, I mean, I come from the United States, so for me to get to New York would take me 3 days. Or no, a week of driving. So,
no, it's near.
Yeah, so it's close to you.
Yeah, it's close to me.
England is pretty small compared to me in the United States. Okay, so we're out of time, but I wanted to ask you guys quickly. Just tell me, what is your preference, small town or big city? Where do you prefer to live? Anna, small town or big city?
I prefer the mountain.
I prefer live in a big city.
Big city, more action.
I don't like big city.
Mario wants a small town. Marcia, how about
small town.
A small town.
Okay, Maria Jose.
I think that a small town with a active nightlife.
It's impossible.
No, my city is small, but the nightlife is good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's always best countryside.
Countryside,
small.
Better. Yeah.
Very, very small town.
Nihan, you said small town too?
Yeah, when you getting older, you prefer small towns.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Mauricio, how about you?
I like more the big cities because
big cities.
There is more action and I can do more things.
Yep. Yeah. Vincenzo, how about you? Big city, small town? What do you prefer?
He slept, maybe.
A little bit slow.
Pretty problem.
Okay, guys. Thanks for coming and reading. And if you want to go to a peaceful town, try out that town, Broadland area. Or you can come to my town. It's very peaceful too.
I must change the computer.
Oh.
Okay.
You look peaceful.
There is a delay of an hour. A delay of an hour.
Oh yeah, your connection's slow. Okay, everybody. I'll see you another time. Maybe sometime we'll have a conversation about small towns versus big towns.
Yeah.
Bye,
Yeah, that
bye.
would be good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you
everybody.
for everything.